concentrate on the Divine Master and pray to him for spiritual awakening. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Stapakaya Jadharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupine Stapakaya Jadharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Yate Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We are in the beginning of the new year. Everywhere we see people greeting, wishing a happy, prosperous life. At this time, people love to give gifts to those whom they love. It's an opportunity for the people to express their love and kindness. It's an opportunity to express something of divine in their nature. Here we see Sri Ramakrishna giving the New Year gift on the 1st of January 1886. Sri Ramakrishna gave the gift of spiritual awakening. It's invaluable gift. Whoever meditates on him, looks on him with sincerity, he will become the recipient of Sri Ramakrishna's gift of spiritual awakening. Before coming to the class today, I was just concentrating on Sri Ramakrishna's wonderful gift of spiritual awakening. Sri Ramakrishna said to Pandit Shashadhar, a great scholar of the time. I am quoting what Sri Ramakrishna said in the Gospel. He said to the Pandit, good, you have got scholarship. enough of that. Now he is leading him to practice. Don't end up your life in just speculating and discussing and debating things. It's one stage. It's a very preliminary stage. The real stage would be your spiritual practice. The day you start your spiritual practice, that day the second stage has started to you. Now he said to Pandit Shashadhar, pray to God. He is full of compassion. Will he not listen to the words of his devotee? He is the Kalpatharu. Taru means tree. Kalpa means wish fulfilling. You will get whatever you desire from him. These are the exact words of Sri Ramakrishna, which you can see in the Gospel, page number 479. And it is very significant to remember Sri Ramakrishna's teaching, particularly when we are in the threshold of the new year. Sri Ramakrishna said to a devotee, by turning the mind within oneself, one acquires discrimination, and through discrimination, one thinks of truth. Then the mind feels the desire to go for a walk to Kali, the wish-fulfilling tree. Reaching that tree, that is to say, going near to God, you can, without any effort, gather 4 fruits, namely Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Righteousness, wealth, prosperity, liberation. All these you will get. So it is very important for us to know the significance of the 1st January of every year. It's a momentous day. You can rejuvenate your spiritual thinking. You can shake up all your negative forces and open yourself to spiritual ideas. It is the most stunning incident when Sri Ramakrishna finally revealed himself to the devotees. Till then he had not revealed who he was. But now Sri Ramakrishna thought, before casting off his physical frame, he just wanted to reveal himself to the devotees. Through this revelation, it is possible to know something about divine glory of God. God's glory can be understood more clearly through human form. you will appreciate the divine nature in the human form. You must note the time of his revelation. It was a time he was suffering intensely. It's physical suffering due to cancer. He was in that state of painful suffering on the physical level. The devotees watching him day and night, they were about to lose the faith in the divinity of their teacher. He is suffering so much, and he speaks so much about spirituality. They could not reconcile this suffering with spiritual values. So, the devotees were in a kind of dilemma. The faith was almost to be shaken. But as far as Sri Ramakrishna is concerned, he always remained the same child of the Divine Mother. In spite of that intense suffering physically, he lived in a state of bliss. Despite the dreaded disease, his serenity, God consciousness, and above all, his passion to lead mankind to God never ceased even for a moment. A devotee who came to see the ailing man saw him shedding tears and was lamenting, "Oh me." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one of the incarnations of God, went from door to door walking on foot and gave to the people divine love. And Sri Ramakrishna, referring to this, said, "Alas, I cannot move out except in a carriage." Sri Ramakrishna was intensely feeling for the people. Another day, Sri Ramakrishna said, "Well, I shall go on doing good to others, even when I am on barley water." To the devotees who were feeling pain at his own terrible suffering, Sri Ramakrishna told them in consoling words, "My Divine Mother has brought this illness upon this body to convince the skeptics of the present age that Atman is divine, that God consciousness is as true and practical as it was in the Vedic period, that when one reaches perfection, freedom from bondage is attained. All my religious practices, yoga practices, devotional exercises have been for the good of others and not for my own good. My mother has set through this form a living example in this age." So, it was a great puzzle for the devotees who were with him, around him. They could not understand him really. So, despair crept into the hearts of many. So, what they did was, the devotees, they brought their teacher a little towards Calcutta in a spacious garden of Kasipur for better treatment and quicker recovery. The best doctors of the time were brought in. An unspoken gloom lurked in their minds. Only a few, like Narendranath, who became Vivekananda later on, and Girish Chandra Ghosh, dared to see the presence of the incarnation of God of this age in the decaying body of Sri Ramakrishna. Their burning faith and devotion kept the drooping spirit of others high. Amid this gloom, Sri Ramakrishna brought the blessed moment of the revelation of the power of the incarnation of God. Transcending far above the physical sufferings of the apparent man, Sri Ramakrishna stood before his devotees like a divine being capable of giving them everything and even lifting them up to sunlit heights of unexpected illuminations. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to show to the devotees the real Sri Ramakrishna, not the Ramakrishna who was suffering physically. It was 1st of January 1886. Only just 2 weeks have passed since Sri Ramakrishna was brought to Kasipur garden. Just 2 weeks. So long bedridden, the master felt for the first time a desire to take a walk below in the garden. One has to come down the staircase. He was located in the upstairs in the Kasipur garden house. Several steps he has to come down if he has to walk. He could not even get up. What to speak of walking? Now the revelation starts. The real Sri Ramakrishna began to express totally and fully. It was 3 p.m. The master came down from upstairs along with Latu, Swami Adbhutananda, the second from left side on the back side of the chapel. At that time, Swami Vivekananda and others were sleeping as they kept vigil previous night. They were all tired, totally exhausted, so they were sleeping. There were a large number of lay devotees on that day because it was a holiday, an account of a New Year's Day. So they took the chance to see Sri Ramakrishna. They came. It was good they came. As the master came down unexpectedly into the garden, the lay devotees came forward in joy to greet and accompany him. They were in great joy because they found Sri Ramakrishna was walking, and they thought, oh, what a fine recovery from the illness. And there was a glow on his face. They could see the cheerfulness in Sri Ramakrishna, more expressing on that day. Latu, that is Adbhutananda, who accompanied Sri Ramakrishna, bringing him down towards a garden, he returned to clean and rearrange the beddings of the master. He was serving, He was very devoted servant. Service is not easy. It looks easy, but if you take it as a sadhana, you have to do it very carefully. Anyway, and Adbhutananda immediately went back so that when Master came back, bed should be ready and everything should be clean and Swamiji would be comfortable. So he went to do his duty. There was a freshness of joy in the minds of all devotees at this recovery of the Master. It was Girish Chandra Ghosh, the symbol of faith, who precipitated the historic moment. Girish was talking with other devotees under a mango tree. For the last few months, despite Sri Ramakrishna's illness, Girish Chandra Ghosh was openly declaring to others that the Master was the latest incarnation of God on earth. They were all talking this way. Sri Ramakrishna came along the way to where Girish and others sat. Then Sri Ramakrishna asked Girish, Girish, what have you seen in me which makes you say so many things publicly in glorification of me before one and all? What is it you are seeing in me? With all his devotion and faith, Girish at once stood up, came near the Master and fell at his feet. Then with folded hands and a voice choked with emotion, he said, what more can I say about him, even a fraction of whose Vyasa and Valmiki miserably failed to express in their immortal epics and Puranas. With these words of fervent faith, a visible change came in Sri Ramakrishna. In front of the devotees, he now stood radiant. And through Girish, addressed the gathering of these lay devotees. What more shall I say to you? Be illumined. They never expected such thing to happen there. It's all unexpected. That is the way how God's grace works. When He wants to show grace, He comes and shows. It is God's prerogative. Hardly had he spoken these words when he went into Samadhi. The words uttered out of a deep compassion immediately brought a divine awakening in all present. At once all of them fell at the Master's feet, took the holy dust of his feet, and every one of them, they chanted, Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Ramakrishna, Jai Ramakrishna. Victory to Sri Ramakrishna, victory. Out of a mood of divine grace. Sri Ramakrishna now began to bless the devotees one after the other, which is divine touch. This brought an instant transfiguration in them. Some of them looked at him spellbound. Some of them saw a light or effulgence. Some felt the onrush of a spiritual power in them. Some of them, unable to bear the overflowing joy, began to move restlessly and call loudly to all within the house to come and get the divine touch. Still some others collected flowers and worshipped the Master with them, chanting various mantras. God revealed himself through human body of Sri Ramakrishna. That is the most momentous day, 1st January 1886. The divine feast was suddenly thrown open to the hungry seekers of divinity. And now they came running. One devotee by name Vivekananda Sanyal, who was so long pressing Sri Ramakrishna for the divine grace, he came running to him. Sri Ramakrishna blessed him with the divine touch. As a result of it, a great revolution took place in his mind. He saw the figure of the Master light up with a gracious smile in the sky, in the houses, trees, plants, men, and in whatever else he looked at. He was seeing the divine form of Sri Ramakrishna. The vision of his beloved Master in everything continued for some days, even throughout his waking state. He was not dreaming, he is seeing actually with his gross eyes. He could not bear it anymore. He was frightened and prayed to the Master to withdraw that vision. There is another devotee, Ramchandra Dutt. He was also touched with the divine touch by the Master. And that devotee went out running in ecstasy. Another devotee, Navagopal Ghosh, ran towards Master, fell at his feet and said, Master, what will happen to me? The Master asked him if he could do a little spiritual practice or even a little of japam on the beads a number of times daily. Navagopal Ghosh surrendered to the Master and said, Master, I can do neither of them, what you have said. I can't do japa, I can't do any spiritual practice because of the heavy load of my worldly duties. But I am surrendering to you, I am helpless. The Master then asked, well, can you take my name a little? That I can do, no doubt. That's easy, he replied. The Master was pleased. And Sri Ramakrishna blessed him with the words, that will be enough. You will not have to do anything further. You get everything by my grace. Another devotee, Ramlal, Sri Ramakrishna's nephew, was struggling to have the full vision of his chosen deity in meditation, but so long he was not successful. Now he came running to Sri Ramakrishna, asking for the vision of his chosen deity. The master removed the wrapper from his body and slowly passed his hands on his chest and said, "Now have a good look." At once an illumination overwhelmed him. Ramlal said, "Oh, what a beauty! What a splendor of light! How can I tell them?" No sooner had the master touched me that day than the form of my chosen ideal appeared suddenly from head to foot in the lotus of my heart and moved and looked benign and effulgent. Like that, Sri Ramakrishna began to bless everyone, whoever came to him at that time. Now he was returning to his room. Just at that time, another devotee, Akshay Kumar Sen, came running. The master understood, placed his right hand on his chest and said, "Be awakened," and uttered a holy mantra into Akshay Kumar's ear. The result was a powerful divine force welled up within him. As a result, he experienced a profound bliss and shed profuse tears of joy. Sri Ramakrishna's prediction that "I will cast my whole secret to the winds" came finally true. He just disclosed who he was. Master Mahashay, who has recorded Sri Ramakrishna's teachings in the form of gospel, he wrote, "The master stood like one of those fruit sellers who bring their fruits to the marketplace, bargain at first about the prices, but then towards the sunset, when the market is about to close, give away the fruits indiscriminately." Just like after the Christmas Eve, they had a 50% discount. Take away. Even they are prepared to give free also sometimes. The incarnation power in Sri Ramakrishna could not be hidden anymore. The part of nectar was broken in the marketplace of life. The king of the divine world, who according to the master's own simile was so long moving incognito in the guise of a beggar, was finally discovered at the very middle of the road. And the poor beggars of grace came rushing to fill their bowls. Now the king was all compassion. He gave out God's plenty, overbrimming their little vessels and inundating them with the divine flood. Sri Ramakrishna was the power, he was the hope, he was the current, and other streams and currents ran towards this river. He was the Ganga itself. These are the statements by Roma Rolla about Sri Ramakrishna. Has written like that. Like the all-purifying Ganga, Sri Ramakrishna on this day made no distinction between the fit and the unfit, between the saint and the sinner, even the lost sheep of the fold. The so-called worthless got the master's encouragement and love, which was destined to change the very course of their lives thereby. Swami Vivekananda, He said, Sri Ramakrishna used to handle human minds like the lumps of clay, breaking, molding, remolding them at ease, and filling them with new ideas by mere touch. For these blessed souls, the center of life was shifted forever from the mire of the world to the divinity within. So, by this time you must have realized Sri Ramakrishna was not simply a man as we are. He is veritable Godhead. Came in the form of man out of his infinite love and compassion. And before he left his body, he wanted to give this gift on the New Year's Day, 1st January. He gave the gift of spiritual awakening. And whoever wants that spiritual awakening should come to Sri Ramakrishna with great humility and just pray to him. You will get. With these words I conclude my today's talk. Page number 587. God is both inside and outside. It is He who dwells inside us. Therefore, the Vedas say, Tattvamasi, that thou art. God is also outside us. He appears manifold through Maya, but in reality He alone exists. Therefore, before describing the various names and forms of God, one should say, Om Tat Sat. Om, that alone is the reality. This is the meaning of Om Tat Sat. It is one thing to learn about God from the scriptures and quite another to see Him. The scriptures only give hints. Therefore, to read a great many scriptures is not necessary. It is much better to pray to God in solitude. It is not necessary to recall all of the Gita. One can get the essence of the Gita by repeating the word 10 times. It becomes reversed and is then Tyagi. The essence of the book is, O man, renounce everything and worship God. What's the meaning of renunciation? Don't entertain anything in the mind, give the whole mind to God. That's the meaning of renunciation. The master went into an ecstatic mood while watching the evening worship of Kali in the company of the devotees. He was in no condition even to salute the image. Very carefully he returned to his room with the devotees and sat down. He was still in an ecstatic mood. He spoke to them while in that state. In the room was Hari, a young man about 20 years of age, who was a relative of the Mukherjees and very much devoted to the master. He was married. At that time he was living with the Mukherjees and looking for a job. Master said to Hari in an ecstatic mood, take your initiation after getting your mother's permission. To Priya, referring to Hari, I could not give him the mantra, though I said I would initiate him. I don't initiate people. Continue with your own meditation and japa as you have been doing. Priya said, yes sir, master. And I am saying this to you in this state of my mind. Believe my words. You see, there is no show or deceit here. I just said to the Divine Mother in my ecstatic mood, O Mother, may those who come here, referring to himself, through sincere attraction, obtain perfection. Mahendra Kaviraj of Sindhi was seated on the veranda conversing with Ramlal Hazra and others. The master called to him from his room. M went out quickly and brought Mahendra in. Master said to Mahendra, "Sit down and listen to my words." Mahendra was a little embarrassed. He sat down. Master said to the devotees, "God can be served in different ways. An ecstatic lover of God enjoys Him in different ways. Sometimes he says, 'Oh God, you are the lotus, I am the bee.' And sometimes, 'You are the ocean of Sachidananda, I am the fish.' Sometimes again, the lover of God says, 'I am your dancing girl.' He dances and sings before Him. He thinks of himself sometimes as a friend of God and sometimes as His handmaid. He looks on God sometimes as a child, as did Yashoda, and sometimes as husband or sweetheart, as did the gopis. Sometimes Balaram looked on Krishna as a friend. Sometimes he would think he was Krishna's umbrella or carpet. He served Krishna in all possible ways. Was Sri Ramakrishna hinting at his own state of mind while thus describing the different attitudes of a lover of God? We shall stop here. So, New Year has started. Let us aspire for spiritual prosperity besides material prosperity too. Spiritual life, that is the real life. And it is very important we should step up your spiritual practices. You have to raise yourself from whatever condition you have been in. You must rise up. And Sri Ramakrishna tells, well, one devotee told him, "I can't do japa, I can't do this, I can't do that. I am burdened by worldly duties." I said, "Can you take my name?" "That I can do." So, think of Sri Ramakrishna, your life will be blessed. That's all. Yeah, if you study the gospel and his life, you will know how he would mold the character of different people of different temperaments. For example, Swami Vivekananda. Nobody could have even dreamt of Vivekananda in that fashion. It's only Sri Ramakrishna who could do that. And he made Narendranath Vivekananda. So each person he dealt with in a different way, and he would go to his level and mold him accordingly. He had infinite ways of molding the persons, and he would not force the people. He would give them the ideas and allow them to work a little bit, settle down properly, and then he would initiate them in spiritual ideas, not necessarily mantra. Such people, incarnations of God, whatever they say is a mantra. Just by their saying, just by their looking, just by their benign smile, people could be transformed. And it literally happened that way. Once people came to Sri Ramakrishna, they would be fascinated to see him more and more. So they felt that divine attraction. And he was stressing upon the quality of the spiritual life. And so accordingly, he would instruct the people in all different systems of yogas. Anybody practicing any spiritual discipline could come to Sri Ramakrishna and get guidance. Because Sri Ramakrishna had mastered all the yogas and he had practiced all the different religions in order to show to the humanity that all religions lead to the same goal. So he experimented what he taught later on. The whole thing was based on his experience. So anybody could come, a bhakta, a jnani, a karma yogin, everybody would find guiding teachings from him. So that was his way. There is no particular, say, suppose, for example, if you take Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, he was also in, do Nishkam Karma Yoga, selfless activity. Go, do it, you will get perfection. Because he could give that assurance because he was the Supreme God himself and he knew that. That's the way how one could improve. You should not say all the people should go in the same channel. Let them have different approaches to God. It's good, it's nice also to see that. So unity in diversity, the message of Vedanta, that Sri Ramakrishna gave through his life and teachings. Unity in diversity. Any more question? You got? Do you have? No. Do you? Any religion. Because Sri Ramakrishna practiced Mohammedanism also. He got the vision of Muhammad. He got the vision of Lord Christ. That's how he reconciled all the religions. That's what Swami Vivekananda says in his talks. A Hindu need not become Christian. A Christian need not become Hindu. A Hindu, by taking to Vedanta, can become a true Hindu. A Christian taking Vedanta become a true Christian. See how beautifully Swami Vivekananda has put it. Why do you want to convert? You go in your own way. You choose. You choose. See, all the paths are kept open. See, now I am going to India. There are so many flights are going. British Airways goes. Indian Airline, Air India goes. So many, Bangladesh, Thailand. Hundreds of airways goes. Take any airway you want. You reach the same India. It's just like that. You may like, oh, British Airways, if I go, service will be good. That's your choice. According to your choice, you select it and go. Going is important. Same analogy here also, spiritual life. All paths lead to the same goal. As many faiths, so many paths. That is Sri Ramakrishna's teaching. So, Sri Ramakrishna has become ocean. All the different religions have become rivers. They just can't help but mingle in the ocean. You may say, I want to remain separately. How can you remain separately? You become exhausted, you become evaporated. You cannot have identity, you will be disappearing if you have separate existence. But if you are connected with ocean, your existence is assured. You can maintain your individuality. Oh, I am that river. Good. But that impression is because of your connection with the ocean. If there is no ocean at all, this identity would have lost by the heat of the sun. All the waters would be evaporated and water gets dissipated, finished. So like that, we shall stop. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quenched that mighty forest fire, worldly lust, raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself,
O self, drown deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, breathing in his name that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord. In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree, take no honor to thyself, give honor to all, chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and Soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt. For thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy. May all be free from disease. May all realize what is good. May none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bonds. May the freed make others free. May good betide all people. May the sovereign righteously rule the earth. May all beings ever attain what is good. May the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time. May the earth be blessed with crops. May all countries be freed from calamity. May holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.